Abdullah sir is a very great and kind, humble person.
So if you want to be extrovert from introvert, be approachable. तो आपको ये चीज तो आपके अंदर होनी चाहिए कि किस तरीके से इमोशंस को बैलेंस किया जाए.
What if I'm not able to understand what the person is communicating with me, what he or she is feeling? Then how will we understand their problem?
Never try to just cheat people, because if you cheat once, you will be cheated always.
There's some difficult conversation. So how can we handle difficult conversation?
Consistent communication is the real method of building your relation and taking your relation for lifetime.
If you get a chance to give tips to the salesperson,
Of course.
so what kind of tips you?
One is loneliness. Another is actually when you enjoy your company. If you don't scold today, they will scold you tomorrow. अगर आप आज उनको नहीं डांटेंगे, कल वो आपको डांटेंगे. That is why you have to scold them today. You have to show them the right path.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
And welcome to everyone in this session of Q&A. We are very thrilled to have Abdullah sir with us as a prestige guest. Today, I get this golden opportunity to be here and be the part of this Q&A session. I get the chance to sit in front of you.
Thank you very much.
Abdullah sir is a very great and kind, humble personality. As we know, he is the director of our Happiness Institute and he is a very good public speaker and trainer also. So we are looking forward for this session to go ahead, to move it ahead. So now we will start with our insightful questions today, which help us to know about some communication skills, that how to develop those communication skills and what are the barriers in people's facing at the time of having communication. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
You're welcome.
So first of all, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great because you are sitting in front of me, so I feel very energetic after seeing you here.
So should we start the session?
Of course, we may do that.
So sir, first of all, my first question is, as so many people, and right now if I talk about today's youth, more for used phone and always be in the phone. So they're being introvert more and more. So how those introvert people interact with other peoples and how they convey their thoughts?
First of all, I think they should watch Simran, and they can get multiple, inspirations, because you are very extrovert. The first thing is that because nowadays, if we talk about metropolitan cities, so people are being actually more and more introvert because they are being more and more isolated. So due to isolation, they are being introvert, and due to introversion habit, they are being very preserved and reserved. So what they have to do, they have to know and understand the approaching skills. Like, you don't wait for the good morning, you just say good morning. You don't wait for the namaskar, but you say namaskar. You don't wait for the God to gift you, but you go to the mandir and masjid and to say to God that God, please give me some gifts. It is called approaching skills. So if you want to be extrovert from introvert, be approachable and be very approaching. This is the single and most important point I would like to recommend you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so it means that to introvert people, they have to be approachable more.
They will feel difficulty to approach, but they can try with jalebi wala, with chini wala, with chai ki patti wala, with chai wala. They can try like this.
Okay. So, sir, my second question is that sometimes we are not able to express our feelings, what we are feeling that time. And in communication, emotions being a barrier between it. So, how can we remove that barrier? How can we remove that thing?
Again, I could say that we can watch Simran, right? Because Simran has a good, effectiveness of communicating, and she knows that how to balance emotions. So I could say that when emotion is being your barrier of communication, it means you are not emotionally strong. Here you should not blame your communication, but you should blame your emotions. Because CS, communication skills, is a different part. ES, emotional skills, is a different part. Achha, without building emotional skills or emotional intelligence, you never assume that you are going to be a good human being or a very professional person or a very productive person. Because most of the times we see that if somebody criticizes you, you go to a corner and you start crying, oh, उसने मुझे ऐसे बोला, उसने मुझे ऐसे कहा, मैं तो रोऊंगी दिन भर बैठ के, right? वो होता ना कि टाटा कुत्ता टॉमी और साडा कुत्ता, तो वही वाली बात होती है कि आदमी रोने लगता है कि अपने कुत्ते को सोच के, अपनी बातों को सोच के. So what we have to do, what we have to understand, first of all, we have to build emotional skills or emotional intelligence. How to do it? To face all circumstances. For example, somebody ignores you. How will you tackle that situation? Will you cry or will you also surrender yourself? Somebody criticizes you. How will you tackle this situation? Somebody offends you, somebody hates you, somebody dislikes you, somebody says bad things about you. These all are the scenarios of balancing your emotions. तो आपको ये चीज तो आपके अंदर होनी चाहिए कि किस तरीके से इमोशंस को बैलेंस किया जाए, उसके बाद ही आप सही से कम्युनिकेट कर पाएंगे. मैं आपको एक चीज बता रहा हूँ, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने आपको कल कह दिया कि सिमरन यू आर वेरी नखरेबाज लड़की, राइट, बड़ी नखरीली हो तुम. अब आपका इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस स्ट्रांग नहीं है, तो द सेम लाइन कल वाली इट विल बी इन योर माइंड टुडे. और जब आप मुझसे बात करोगे तो कहीं ना कहीं आप यू विल इग्नोर मी, आप मुझे इग्नोर करोगी, you will get away, you will not see me, you will talk to me like this, or you will just try to see like this. So it means that you are not emotionally strong. Let bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
जो बीत गया उसे बीता रहने दो. This is the thing. First of all, emotional intelligence, then communication is good. This is the pattern.
So as we know that understanding the psychology of a person, it is very important while having a communication. If I am able to understand the psychology, then I am able to understand the problem of the person. But what if I am not able to understand what the person is communicating with me, what he or she is feeling? Then how will we understand their problem?
It's a very interesting point and a very important point. I could say that the question is that how to understand the psychology of a person. So to understand the psychology of a person, you have to be master of reading emotions and expressions. Because there is a very good line जो आप लफ्जों से नहीं कहते हैं, अपनी अदाओं से कह जाते हैं. So you have to understand the ada of a person. Like somebody is scratching, what is the meaning of this? Somebody is trying to do like this, what is the meaning of this? Somebody is sitting like this, what is the meaning of this? Somebody is sitting like this, what is the meaning of this? There are multiple expressions and multiple activities through which you can know that what is the person feeling. जब कोई आपसे वो प्यारी सी बात है, बच्चा आके कहता मम्मा आई लव यू सो मच, तो मम्मा को पता चल जाता है कि ये गलती करके आया या कुछ मांगना चाहता है. तो सेम वे हमें समझना है इनडायरेक्ट मैसेज, दैट इज कॉल्ड साइकोलॉजी. सिमरन इज सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी, सिमरन मेरे सामने बैठी है, सिमरन अपने आप को हैप्पी दिखा रही है, खुश दिखा रही है, लेकिन कोई ना कोई हरकत बीच में करेंगी, हो सकता है करे, जिससे सिमरन को अनकंफर्टेबल फील हो या कुछ ऐसा लगे. तो आई हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट कि सिमरन अभी क्या फील कर रही है. दैट इज कॉल्ड साइकोलॉजी. So you have to master psychology to master.
To read the emotions.
To read the emotions and expressions of the people. Yes.
So sometimes if in an interview also or
in an interview
and in conference, we face some difficult questions, and while having conversation, we face some difficult conversation. So how can we handle difficult conversation?
Difficult conversation is nothing until and unless you reach. For example, if I just tell you that to do 1 lakh rupees business, that is easy for you. And if I say to you the same thing to do a business with 1 crore rupees, that will be difficult for you. It is all about your reach. In case, if you are sitting here for UPSC interview, I asked you your question, okay Simran, tell me what is your future vision? So you will say, sir, I want to be a district magistrate, I want to be an IAS officer. That is clear. And you have a reach, we have a command on this. फिर मैंने एक सवाल किया, ओके सिमरन, व्हाट इफ यू बिकम द डीएम एंड इफ देयर इज अ रिवॉर्ड, अगर एक दंगा हो गया आपके डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हिंदू मुस्लिम का, हाउ विल यू टैकल इट? अब आपके मन में कोई जवाब नहीं, क्योंकि वहां तक आपकी रीच नहीं है. अच्छा, जहां तक आपकी रीच नहीं है, दैट इज डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू. सो यू हैव टू ब्रॉडन योर माइंड, ब्रॉडन योर थॉट्स, एंड यू हैव टू रीच your mind and reach your thoughts to each and every corner of the world so that nothing feels like difficult for you. Simple. Reach will eradicate the difficulty.
So sometimes we don't have knowledge about some topics, so at that moment what will we do? Observe.
Yes, observe the things. For example, Simran is wearing earring, so I observed it and then I say, oh, you are wearing silver color earring, you are wearing golden color, where did you buy from? So what am I doing? I have zero knowledge about earring, I have zero knowledge about fingering, I have zero knowledge about necklace, but I just observed that Simran is wearing earring. So I ask question, okay, wow, what's the quality of this? Where did you buy from? So observation is the main thing, because you are a single person with single mind having 100 billion neurons. You cannot have every knowledge. Surrender yourself. But observation is the key to.
So sometimes some people use different accent, odd accent, and we are not able to understand what he or she is. So at that moment, what we can do to understand their
Absolutely. Words? See, first of all, to understand their accents, we have to understand the core point. For example, you are not able to understand a complete sentence.
Yeah.
understand the important one. I want to say that good. I want to say that you're good. I want to say that you're good. So it means that, oh, so he's talking about me. Good, good, good. Okay, so you are highlighting a word. Good, good. Came in the so beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, came in there so beautiful. So you just understand, India is so beautiful. You have to understand the core word. And if you understand the core word, you can understand the entire communication and accent. Another point is that you should learn and you should master accent, because you should not say that it's not my accent, it's not that accent. You should understand each and every accent, what I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sir, if I say that somehow we want to, some people don't want to speak more because they have a fear that the person who is sitting in front of me, they will judge me. So how can we overcome from that fear?
First of all, if you want to succeed in this world, stop being scared of being judged, because nobody is able to judge you. And if even if you are being judged, it's all right. It's all right to be judged. It's all right to be commented. It's all right to be criticized. It's all right to be fake sometime. It's all right. It's all right. No issue. But you have to just keep on trying, keep on practicing, and keep on speaking, no matter what people think about you.
So, and my next question is that how can I communicate effectively as a team leader to lead my team properly?
Do first. Wait for the people to do. Step first. Wait for the people to step. For example, if you take the example of a president or the prime minister of a country, what he does, he takes a jhadu and he starts sweeping. All the workers, all the well-wishers see, "Achha, prime minister is just sweeping. हम भी करेंगे. We will also do, right? Because the prime minister is doing. Achha, what if he instructs? Okay, Raju, you come here and you just sweep. Hey, Kamla, you come here and you just sweep. So it's like he is ordering and instructing. What if he does? So leader gives a what is that called, that in the mirror what we do, reflection. Leaders reflect the things. So I think as a leader we should reflect the things, so that if you are a leader, if I see Simran is doing like this, or Simran comes on time, she is very disciplined, she is very focused, I will say, hey, Simran kar rahi hai, so I should also do that, because then there will be a kind of scenario. And if I am like a boss, Simran, what are you doing? Come here, sit down, do it, come on time. Will not follow it. Acha, Abdullah sir comes at 8 o'clock, goes at 12 o'clock, he works very hard. मुझे भी करना चाहिए. Leader means step first.
Okay, but
that's the point.
As a leader, we have to do first,
yes.
Then our team workers will do it.
Will do.
So in sales, what is the importance of communication?
Very important. Because I will tell you, 65% of the customers quit your business and quit your shop just because of your rude communication, right? Rude communication. So you trust it that communication is the key of increasing and scaling of the business, and to converting your products or qualities into sales. For example, you came here first time, you interacted to me, you liked me, that's why you converted your admission into this institute, right?
Yeah.
So same way communication plays very important role, because it brings trust, it brings values, it brings bonds, hooks and connections. So we must have great and effective communication for sales skills.
So if you get a chance to give tips to the salesperson,
of course,
so what kind of tips you will give to him?
I will first of all give the tip that first of all understand the human being or understand your client, right? Never try to pitch your product, never try to pitch your service. First of all, try to understand the expectations of the people, that the client. For example, Simran has come here. Simran may have different criteria, like she may be looking for personality development, she may be looking for communication, she may be looking for interview skills. I need to actually understand what is Simran thinking in her mind. And if I am very sure about understanding the Simran's point, so I can sell anything to Simran, because I understand the problem. I will give you an example. We go to a doctor. So what we do, we tell doctor साहब बहुत दर्द हो रहा है सर में. डॉक्टर साहब से अच्छा बहुत दर्द हो रहा है, ठीक है, कब कितने दिन से दर्द हो रहा है? इतने दिन से डॉक्टर साहब बहुत दर्द कर रहा है सर. अच्छा ठीक है, डॉक्टर साहब ने दवा निकाली, दे दी. क्या आप डिस्काउंट मांगती हैं डॉक्टर साहब से? यू डोंट आस्क फॉर द डिस्काउंट. क्यों नहीं मांगती? क्योंकि वो दर्द का इलाज कर रहा है. सेम वे जब कोई कस्टमर आता है तो एक दर्द लेके आता है, और अगर उस दर्द को हमने पकड़ के उसका इलाज कर दिया, कस्टमर कभी डिस्काउंट नहीं मांगेगा. सबकी जिंदगी में दर्द है, और उस दर्द को पकड़ना हर मर्द का काम है, तो सबका काम है. तो वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दैट पेन. अनदर पॉइंट इज द क्वालिटीज ऑफ योर प्रोडक्ट्स. थर्ड थिंग इज दैट कीप वैल्यूज. फोर्थ थिंग इज दैट प्लीज बी जेन्युइन, बी रियल, बी ऑथेंटिक. never try to just cheat people, because if you
Yeah.
cheat once, you will be cheated always. It should be there in the sessions.
Yes, sir. So my next question is: in Delhi, there are so many people who are heartbroken. So is communication is the reason?
It's a very important question actually. First of all, I would like to say that Delhi is the most affected heartbroken city in the
Yeah.
world, in India, right? So I could say that yes, there are many heartbroken people, and especially I pray for them कि उनका दिल ना टूटे. और दूसरी चीज कि अगर दिल टूट रहे हैं तो उसके पीछे we could say that there is communication, because when there is a relationship broken or when there is a break in the relationship, there is a break in the communication. Try to understand. Communication may have anything. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आप किसी को डेली गुड मॉर्निंग कहते थे, आपने वो एक महीने से छोड़ दिया, देर इज़ अ गैप. आप किसी को जो है गुलाब का फूल देते थे, आपने गुलाब का फूल देना बंद कर दिया, देर इज़ अ गैप. आप किसी को चॉकलेट देते थे, चॉकलेट देना बंद कर दिया, देर इज़ अ गैप. आप किसी की पूछते थे खाना खाया, बाबू ने खाना खाया, आप उसको भी आपने बंद कर दिया, तो देर इज़ अ गैप. सो ईच एंड एवरी गैप विल ruin your actually relationship. That is why I could say that open communication, direct communication, consistent communication is the real method of building your relation and taking your relation for lifetime.
Okay. So, sir, as we can see that relation between father and a son, there are so much of communication gap. So, how can we minimize that communication gap between a relation of father and son?
Right. It's a very important question actually, because see, actually there is a generation gap. So generation gap means there is a, there is not age gap, there is a generation gap. And another thing is that there are two aspects of a father and a son, or father and daughter. Father is so strict to son, right? And son becomes very strict to father. It is like this, or it's like cross, right?
Yeah.
So there is no complete actually bond, and there is no complete or direct connection. So I just want to recommend each and every father. For example, in future, if I am going to be father, I am going to be first of all not father, first of all my friend of my child. Because when I am friend of my child, he would be confident to share each and everything to me.
Yeah.
And I can understand each and every emotion of my child. He will never shy away from sharing anything. So I think before being father, you must be a friend of your child. Another thing is that if there is a gap between father and son, there would be any problem in actually miscommunication. That is why I think when there is father and the child is small, father should take care. When child becomes 20 or 18, above 18, he should care his father.
Yeah.
कि पिता कैसा महसूस कर रहे हैं, कैसे हैं, अच्छे हैं, नहीं अच्छे, क्या है. बात जरूर करना चाहिए, और मेरे ख्याल से अगर बात हम करते हैं तो बहुत कुछ चीजें अच्छी हो जाती है. बात करना चाहिए.
Sir, as I say that I'm also a student, and from when we go to college, new college, even in schools, when I came here in Happiness Institute, the first day was very difficult.
Right.
We are feeling very hesitated that how can we make friends, how can we do communication. So at that moment, what we have to do to make friends and interact with each other?
Of course, very interesting question. First of all, I just want to say that I just gave you the first line answer with your first question, or on your first question, approach.
Approach, yeah.
This is the best skill in the world: to socialize, to connect, to build relationship, to build interpersonal skills, to build great communication and effective communication. Just approach. Approach first. And when you approach first, you're going to be master of communication. Achha. Now the point is that you are shying away because you are not aware of environment. You don't know that what is this person feeling, what is that person feeling. Everyone feels good if you make him feel or her feel good.
Yeah.
If I say, Simran, you look beautiful, you're not going to say, hi, how dare you call me beautiful, right? Everybody likes his or her compliment. Hi sir, आपका नाम क्या है? Nobody will be offended. Hey, तुम कौन हो? नाम पूछने वाले? नहीं बताता चलने का. ऐसा कोई नहीं करेगा. तो कुछ ऐसे सवाल होते हैं जो यूनिवर्सल क्वेश्चन है, जो हम पूछ सकते हैं. हाय, आप बहुत अच्छे लग रहे हो आज. हाय, आपका नाम क्या है? आप कितने साल से यहाँ पे हो? आप कितने महीने से? अच्छा, आपको स्ट्रीम कौन सा है? जितने जनरल क्वेश्चन है उसको पिक करो, पिच करो, कोई ऑफेंड नहीं होगा, सब अच्छा लगेगा सबको. अप्रोच फर्स्ट.
सर, बीइंग अ गर्ल, मैंने गर्ल्स में एक आदत देखी है that they like to speak with their stuffs like dolls, teddy bears, and they like to write diaries. So talking with the non-living things, is it helpful or is waste of time?
It's very jolly thing. first of all, for example, somebody is talking to teddy bear. Oh, कितना प्यारा है. Oh, कितना अच्छा है. It's like कि you have no one, but you are happy with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You are talking because you are creative. अच्छा, talking to non-living things is like, you are fully spirited person. आप अपने आप में ही complete हो. You don't require anything. There are two types of thing, One is loneliness. Another is actually when you enjoy your company, right? And there is a process of that, or there is a word for that. I'm just missing the word. Not talking to anyone. अच्छा, and when you are enjoying your company, you are like that. Oh, कुच्चू मुच्चू, right? कितना प्यारा है. अच्छा, वो कुछ है नहीं, फिर भी प्यारा है. Oh, बिस्तर लगा रहे हैं, उसमें enjoy कर रहे हैं. और चेयर खिसका रहे हैं, उसमें एंजॉय कर रहे हैं. कुछ खा रहे हैं, वो कितना टेस्टी है, उसमें एंजॉय कर रहे हैं, राइट? टेडी बियर है, उसको पकड़ के खेल रहे हैं. तो इट्स लाइक कि आप कंप्लीट हो, आप अधूरे नहीं हो, आप पूरे हो, मुकम्मल हो आप. अच्छी बात है, बहुत अच्छी बात है. इट्स वेरी गुड.
So it's good thing if we talk with the non-living things.
बट ओवर नहीं होना चाहिए, नहीं तो फिर मेंटल असाइलम जाने की जरूरत पड़ेगी.
So even if we saw the youths, so if so many of students are being, they are very, very depressions, some are having panic attacks, anxiety. So a good or healthy communication can help them to cure their condition.
Of course. First of all, yesterday I was giving one session, and I told, जैसे for example stuttering and stammering and lisping, हकलाहट और तुतलाहट के 3 रीजन होते हैं. One is neurological, दिमाग से आता है. One is genetics, जो पीढ़ी से आता है. One is psychological. Depression and anxiety come from biological process, but most of the times it comes from psychological process, neurological process. And why there is this process? Because his emotions and his thoughts are within, inside, and he has never shared. For example, Simran or any girl is there who got break up, and she's like, I got broke up, right? Break up. And she is, in herself, she is crying a lot. बहुत तकलीफ है, बहुत दिक्कत है. अगर वो अपने ब्रेकअप को शेयर करती है, सामने वाला कोई और उसकी केयर करता है, तो she will not have anxiety and stress problem.
Yeah.
Stress comes from
Thoughts.
and thought comes from deep thoughts. And deep thought is converted into stress and depression. Let's not make it a deep thought. Let's share it, ignore it, enjoy it.
Okay. Sir, if I talk about the teenagers, so teenagers, like, they are not attached with their parents because they thought ये तो हमें रोक टोक करते हैं. एक टीनेज होती ही वैसी एज है जहाँ पे बच्चे पेरेंट्स से चिढ़ जाते हैं, and they don't share anything to their parents, and even at that time students get involved in different kinds of things अगर पेरेंट्स ने उन्हें सही से उन पे ध्यान नहीं दिया. So at teenage, what is the importance of communication with the parents?
I gave you just 2 or 3 questions back. I gave you the answer of this. The answer is very simple. Parents should be friends of their children. The first thing. And बड़ी प्यारी सी कहावत है, I will love my kid very much.
Yeah.
I will love my kid very much. मैं अपने लड़के से, अपने बच्चे से बहुत मोहब्बत करूंगा. But when there is requirement, जब जरूरत पड़ेगी तो उसे कोहनी भी मार दूंगा हमेशा. But if there is a mistake and fault by that kid, I will nudge, I will slap, I will scold. But most of the times we see that whose children are spoiled. किसके बच्चे बर्बाद होते हैं? या बहुत सॉफ्ट फादर होता है या बहुत हार्ड फादर होता है. ना मुलायम मोम चलेगी, ना हार्ड कांटे चलेंगे. यहाँ पे कभी मुलायम मोम और कभी थोड़ा सा चाटे चलेंगे. So that is very important. So you have to be friend of your son and daughter.
बट आजकल के पेरेंट्स वाज लाइक दैट कि वो अपने बच्चों को कुछ कहते ही नहीं है बिकॉज दे फील दैट बच्चों को हम कुछ कहेंगे सो दे विल डू एनीथिंग रॉन्ग, दे विल नेवर टॉक टू अस, दे विल मेक हिमसेल्फ क्लोज इन वन रूम. So that was the reason that parents are not able to scold their students and children also. So how can we handle that kind of students?
If you don't scold today, they will scold you tomorrow. अगर आप आज उनको नहीं डांटेंगे, कल वो आपको डांटेंगे. That is why you have to scold them today. You have to show them the right path. Because if you don't actually show your attitude as a father, अगर आप वो father वाला attitude आज नहीं दिखाएंगे, कल को आप उसे किसी चीज़ से रोकेंगे, कैसे रोकेंगे? How will he stop? That is why never be अफ्रेड ऑफ कि बच्चे को अगर थोड़ा समझाया तो ऐसे हो जाएगा, अब बंद कर लेगा कमरे में अपने आप को. You know, nowadays actually children and youths are being over possessive, over impulsive. अब लड़की बंद कर ली, हाँ ना, नस काट लूंगी, क्या है नस काट लूंगी, ये कर लूंगी, हट जाओ, आग लगा दूंगी. These all are fake things and nonsense, I could say. So I think that there should be a kind of great bond, and I personally believe, and I have experienced it. The more you are open with your kids, the less chances of impulsiveness is there. Be more open.
So my last question is that to make our communication effective, so what things we have to focus more?
Listening first. Listen first very properly. That is the best way to communicate effectively. If you are a good listener, you trust me that you are going to be an impactful communicator. Another thing is that please don't assume your thoughts are always right. You may be wrong sometimes. And third is important thing, be accepting. Be very polite to accept each and everything. Abdullah sir, it is your bad habit. Okay, Simran, thank you so much. You may be right or you are right. It may be right. So, Abdullah sir, you are very patla dubla. You should take some diets, right? Okay, Simran, I'll follow it. Accepting is the most important thing in communication. Fourth thing is that you must be very broadened with your thoughts. Because always I have seen people who have narrow thoughts and who are narrow minded, they always tackle a big problem in their lives. They are like कि अगर उनसे कहोगे लंदन जाएंगे, चल चुप, लंदन बात कर रहे हैं, हाउ विल यू गो लंदन, अभी तुम यहीं जो है सरोजनी चले जाओ. तो इट्स लाइक दैट. हम एक काम करेंगे, अपने बच्चे को जो है अंबानी, धीरू भाई अंबानी के स्कूल में पढ़ाएं. अरे वहाँ सलमान खान, शाहरुख खान के अलग बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, हाउ कैन यू डू दैट. तो ब्रॉडन थॉट्स होनी चाहिए, विजनरी होना चाहिए. दैट्स द बेस्ट वे टू कम्युनिकेट.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very
Maybe
much.
this session is going to help every student
Sure.
for improve their communication
Yes.
skills.
Thank you very much. Very nice.